My name is Eric Anderson, and this is an instructional video to help with the setup of the Licox device. So if you have a patient that comes in that suffered a traumatic brain injury and the neurosurgeon indicates he would like to place a Licox monitoring device, these are the steps that you'll need to take to get that set up. So the first thing you want to do is to gather your supplies. The things you will need will include the Licox monitoring kit. This is found in the fridge on 2900. You'll have to have a shift leader or somebody unlock the fridge for you because these are kept under lock. But you will need this kit. It'll also be a good idea to, if you have the neurosurgeon tells you that they're going to place this device, if able, to get your shift leader or to get an extra RN or two to help you, just as hands for the neurosurgeon and to help place all this stuff, because there's a lot of moving parts to getting it set up. So you'll need the Licox device. The next thing that you will need is a Cranial Access Kit, and this is the kit that actually allows the surgeon to drill and place the bolt into the patient. If you see here, we've got a couple different ICP monitoring devices. Each one serves different purpose, but for the Licox, so this is just traditional Camino, or the Camino ICP monitoring. It's if you're only doing intracranial pressure, but if you're going to do the intracranial pressure along with oxygen and temperature, then you need to make sure that you select the device that says Camino intracranial pressure monitoring catheter with Licox bolt fitting. So the bolt that goes with the Licox device is actually bigger than, or the drill that goes with the Licox is bigger than what is used for just this traditional ICP monitoring. So the bolt that comes in the Cranial Access Kit, or the drill bit that comes in it, is that if they're just doing a standard Camino device, that'll fit it just fine. But if they're going to do a Licox device, then you need to make sure that you get the drill bit that goes with the drill bit and bolt that goes with the Licox. And they can use the drill that's here, but in the actual Licox kit, the kit itself will have three different. You'll have the oxygen, you'll have the temperature, and then you'll have the triple lumen introducer kit. And it's here that you'll actually find the drill bit that's needed along with the larger bolt. So if you inadvertently place, you use the drill bit that's in the drill bit and bolt that's in the Cranial Access Kit, then the neurosurgeon will be upset and you'll have to drill another hole into the patient's head. So these are the parts that come in the Licox kit. So after you've gathered up the things that you actually need for the catheter, then we'll also need to gather the equipment that we'll need for monitoring with it. So in 2900, in the shift leader's office, or in the clean hold, excuse me, there's a big blue bin here that will have all the necessary items. So if we can, and there's a label on top of it that tells you what should be contained within the kit itself, within this box. It says they should be attached, but just in case they're not, we'll show you how to attach all of them here. So the first thing you want to do is start to take things out, and there may be a lot of wires. It may be very jumbled up, because that's usually the case. All right, so we'll get set this up first. This is actually what's going to monitor our oxygen and temperature with the Licox probes. You can edit some of this.
Yeah, I can chop this part out.
All right. All right. All right. So here's the first part of the Licox, and that's what we'll use to monitor the temperature and oxygen. And we'll also get out our Camino monitor, and this is what's actually going to monitor our intracranial pressure. So you'll want to get a bedside pole and get it set up for it, and it just screws on here. You've got a red to red color coordinated for power cable, so you'll hook that up and plug it into an outlet there. And then we'll take this one here also. So around the side here. So the ICP cable, yeah. So it goes in just like that there. And then if you're using the T for temperature, you can plug it in as well, but we're not going to be monitoring it, but really this is what you'll need there. Okay. So that'll go there, and we'll just hang this here for the time being. So we got our Camino set up. We can power it on here. So it's good to go there. All right, we'll then continue with setup here. So you'll need a 2-port Drager attachment here. And if we go to the bedside monitor, normally where we connect an ART line or CVP, we'll plug it in here, and this will just function as allowing us to have 2 ports. So there's that one. This wire here will usually be connected just like so, and it's going to go to the Camino also. This one, this is the one I was trying to do earlier. And that goes in the one I was trying to place earlier. Okay. All right, so this is what your Camino will look like once it's set up. This one here can then go to, I usually put it in A. So you have PA and PB, and that's just what's going to indicate which one you're going to identify as your ICP on your pressure label on the Drager monitor itself. All right, so the Camino's set up. The next thing you'll need is your ART line transducer here. We'll set it up. Now this one should be in the kit as well, in the box. If not, you're just looking for one that has the LED display, and it should have an aux port, so that when we plug it in, it's able to connect to the auxiliary port on the Drager, which will allow us enough points to continue monitoring all of them. So get that set up. Now we'll come back to our now this one will connect to port B on the Drager as well. And so those are both connected there. It says Licox CMP on it. This is what we're going to use. This will be your power port for your for the Licox tissue oxygen monitor. So we'll turn it around here, and it just goes right like that. There we go. And that'll give you power to it. So ideally, if you could have this set up before the neurosurgeon gets there and have everything ready, that would be ideal. But if not, you can just have somebody doing this while he's probably going ahead and getting ready to place the bolt on the patient. So these two cables here, these are what will actually connect to the Licox probe, the oxygen and temperature cable. We can go ahead and plug these in to have them ready. Green, they're color coordinated, so green goes to green and blue to blue. All right. So once we have this and you've got your sensor ready, we power on the Licox there, the monitoring device, and on the front of the oxygen probe is a card. Okay, so we'll take this card. It's got a little sensor on it, a little chip. This will actually go to the Licox device itself. So once we've plugged it in and we've turned it on, we'll remove this card. And it's got a little arrow on it telling you which way it goes. Okay, and this card will be inserted into the Licox device after it's powered on, and these are connected. Okay, so once it's in and inserted, then you'll be ready to. Once everything's set up, then we'll be ready to assist the neurosurgeon with placement of the bolt. So once you've gotten the appropriate intracranial pressure monitoring device and got the Licox, then the neurosurgeon will use a cranial access kit under sterile procedure. He'll place the bolt into the patient's head, and once it's placed, he will tell you that he's ready to zero the device. And so if you see on our little guy here, the neurosurgeon will have already taken this from the kit and placed it. So it'll be just like this on the actual patient itself. If you look in the kit, you'll see a little flathead-like screwdriver. So when the neurosurgeon tells you that he's ready, we'll zero the device. And I may have got a little ahead of myself, but this will actually be zeroed before he places it into the patient's cerebral tissue. So the neurosurgeon will take this part out, and that's how it'll end up looking. But he'll have this part under, and he'll be sterile. And you as a nurse will have this part here. Okay. So while he's holding this, we will insert these two together, okay? And after it's been inserted, we're going to zero the Camino. So if you look here on the monitor, you see that we get a value of -4. So we will use our flathead to slowly rotate until we can get a value of 0. Now it's very sensitive, it'll jump up and down, back and forth, but you can see there we got it zeroed. And once that's done, then the neurosurgeon will be ready to go ahead and insert it into the patient. And that's where you zero it there. So once he does that and it's inserted, he'll go ahead and finish placing the catheter. Put this up here. He'll finish placing the catheter, and after you're done once it's been zeroed, you can just toss this because you will never need to adjust it again. Once it's been zeroed with atmospheric pressure and it's in the actual cerebral tissue, then it won't be needed anymore because you don't make any adjustments to it. So we can just toss it. And once he places all three catheters. So the Camino's in place, the temperature probe is in place, and the oxygen probe is in place. We will then take our oxygen and temperature probes and we will connect them to the Camino, or to the corresponding cable, and you can see that they're color coordinated as well. So blue goes to blue and green to green, and they just pop on just like so. And once that's in place, then you should start to get values fed over to here and to your Camino to give you your intracranial pressure monitoring, as well as your oxygenation and temperature values. I think that's it.